Web3 gamers are starting to take notice to Ethlizards. Now, there's a whole ecosystem around Ethlizards. There's the Venture Lizards, there's the Elemental Lizards, Lizcoin going on. There's a lot going on in this ecosystem, and I'm going to touch on that in some other videos. But right now, I want to talk about the main draw is the returns you can expect for your staked lizards from the Ethlizards investments. So you can see here an overview of the tokenomics, but I made it a little easier for you. I cut out all of the stuff that you don't need to know about. This is what we're talking about in this video. Make it a little bigger. So quickly how this looks is there's investment reserves. Those are used by the Investment Portfolio Council to make pre-seed and seed investments into upcoming Web3 projects, most of which are Web3 games. Now those investments are going to be for locked tokens. Depending on each individual deal, it depends on when those tokens unlock, but it's going to be the council's decision to when they want to sell some of these investments, liquidate them for profits. Now here's where the fun part is. A portion of those profits are distributed to the staked Ethlizards. So the staked Ethlizards are getting 40% of those profits. 20% of those are going to the team and the council, but the last 40% of it actually just gets reinvested back in to start that cycle all over again. I'm going to give a quick highlight of all the investments that have already been made, and then I'm going to get into some prediction charts, and I'll show you exactly why people are calling getting an Ethlizard as generational wealth. Before I get into that, I'm really not somebody who asks for much, but I want to ask for a couple things right now. One, subscribe to this channel if you're not already. And two, I'm going to be running for the Illuvium Community Council. Voting is going to take place between November 26th and November 29th. I encourage you to get out there and vote for whoever you think is best for the position. But if you weren't planning on voting or didn't have a candidate in mind, I'd really like you to consider Najaf Plays, myself, for that position. Now let's get into it. So CIVUS, on April 10th, 2022, $10,000 was invested into this project. CIVUS is a cross-platform MMO civilization simulator where players aspire to build virtual civilizations, drawing inspiration from games like Civilization and EVE Online, with Web3 gaming mechanics, sub-DAO governance, AR technology, and other innovations. Players collaborate to shape societies and impact the virtual and real worlds. The game offers diverse roles, from a citizen crafting a society to ambitions of becoming mayor or a councilman. CIVUS encourages emergent gameplay and limitless creative possibilities, allowing players to decide their role and contribute to the game's ongoing development. Next, we have Halls of Olympia. You can see back in November 2022, $30,000 was invested into this project. Halls of Olympia is a platform-based gaming experience that blends modular game modes, user-generated content, and social-fi wagering. This platform battle royale is set within the arena of ancient Olympus, offering diverse games where gladiators use chariots and various tools to secure victory. From hardcore melee combat to a variety of modular game modes, in the Circus Maximus and Colosseums, players engage in a multifaceted gaming space to become the ultimate warrior of Olympus. Next, we have Midnight Society. Just recently, in September 14th of 2023, the Portfolio sub-DAO invested $20,000 into this project. In this dystopian year, 2020, 40 years into the climate wars, massive refiner states rise amid escalating population and pollution. Acting as self-governed city-states, these megastructures extract toxins from the stratosphere and export space dust, a refined pollutant concentrate. Originally government-run, the lucrative dust trade sparks conflict as rival factions, skins and sins, compete for control. Facing off against the cleaners who operate the refiner states, the struggle for resources and gear in this post-apocalyptic world continues unabated. Next, we have Muse Group. We can see in July 2022, there was an investment of $20,000 made here. This is a first of its kind global community delivered through an app empowered by Web3 to deliver innovative ways for talent and brands to create, collaborate, and earn. A Web3 update on a tradition of a members club where members can work and play in stunning physical locations all around the world and join our token-gated virtual community. Tokens are granted to teams and users for successful projects. NFTs provide users access to the ecosystem of Muse, including events. Next up, we have Alova data. So October 22nd, 2022, $10,000 investment was made into Alova data. Data Zenith is a gaming protocol dedicated to simplify player onboarding, boost player retention, and elevate the overall gaming experience through tools and insightful analytics that empower gamers for unparalleled gaming performance. AlovaData.gg is their inaugural project, with a primary focus on the Illuvium gaming ecosystem. It provides essential insights and tools for all Illuvium game modes. So Zaros was an investment of $50,000 back in April 9th of 2023. With a mission focused on real yield and capital efficiency, Zaros empowers liquid staking tokens, LSTs, holders to boost their reward by lending their liquidity for the creation of perpetual futures markets, with the vision to become the preferred liquidity hub for protocols and end users who operate on-chain derivatives. Next up, we have Antara. So recently, September 21st, 2023, $20,000 was invested into this project, the world's first blockchain build-in battler, inspired by the lore-rich story of Antara. Grow your tribe from the depth of obscurity to the citadel of kings. Mint and trade digital assets while utilizing the world-famous Arabian Carnel NFT series, and reign supreme in combat. Mine, loot, and stake tokens to create the most powerful tribe in the metaverse. You can see right here we have 4 more projects that are under an NDA, so we don't know what they are yet, but what we can see is that there's an investment of $15,000 into an infrastructure project, an investment of $10,000 into a racing game, and an investment of $15,000 into something else that we don't know, and also an investment of $20,000 into another infrastructure project. As we move on, we have 3 more projects where the investments haven't been confirmed yet. It looks like they're waiting for council approval, or they've been submitted to the council. Now, there's no guarantee these goes through, but it looks like these are 3 additional projects for $25,000 each. Alright, so this is where we get into the fun part of the video. Now, these numbers are all speculative, and this is not financial advice by any means. This is just some numbers I threw together to kind of give you an idea of what we might be looking at. So if we include the investments that still haven't been approved yet, we're looking at about $295,000 worth of investments. Now, I give a base case of a 10x on these coins, and the reason I call it a base case is because all of these investments are pre-seed and seed round investments, and in most cases, you're getting those at a very good price. So I'll go through a base case of a 10x, a bull case of a 25x, and a euphoric case of a 50x. So in the base case, that means when these are getting sold off, we might be looking at $1.5 million in profit. 40% of that goes to the Ethlizards stakers. If we look at about how many lizards are staked right now, it's around that 60%. So in this case, each lizard can expect about $442 as a return. And if you're thinking that doesn't look like too much, just wait. There's a lot more coming here. So bull case, 25x. I'd estimate at this point there might be a higher percentage of lizards staked, 65%. So we're looking at about $817 per lizard. And in a euphoric situation, a 50x, and I'm saying that's about 5.9 million distributed from about a 70% stake, and you're looking at about $1,492. So keep in mind, there's more capital that can be invested. As we can see, there was just a few as recently as September of this year. And then the big thing is the compounding effect. And I'm going to get into that into the next slide. This is all on top of the appreciation of the NFT itself. So we've seen the Ethlizards NFT go from about 0.35 ETH to 0.9 ETH. It just happened overnight recently. And they've been as high as 5 ETH a piece. And like I said earlier, this is just a small part of why you would want to hold one of these lizards. But there's a great community, and it's already a status symbol in Web3 gaming. And I expect that to be even bigger. Think Bored Apes of 2 years ago. If you're going to be playing a Web3 gaming project and you have an Ethlizards PFP, that's a status symbol right there. All right, so here's what we're looking at for that generational wealth, or why people are saying generational wealth. We're going to go with that base case of a 10x on this $295,000 investment. So then we get down and we're looking at about $442 per Liz. But keep in mind, 1.5 million is being distributed to the lizard stakers, but that also means that 1.5 million is going back to get reinvested. So now we're looking at that compounding effect. So after one compound, we're looking at 1.5 million being able to be reinvested. If we stick with that base case of a 10x on those coins, that 1.5 million turns into 15 million. So 6 million of that is getting distributed out to the lizard holders, which would be about $1,634 per lizard. But let's keep compounding. So the next compound. So we have 6 million that gets put back into making more investments. 10x on that is 60 million. 24 million gets distributed to the stakers, and that's over 6,000 per lizard. By the time we're to that second and third compound after this, we're definitely looking at years down the road, maybe 4, 5, 6 years. But that's why we're calling it generational wealth. If you get these and you're planning to hold for the long term, you can expect not financial advice, but some pretty massive gains. But that's it. I'm very bullish on Ethlizards. I do hold a handful of them myself. None of this is financial advice. take everything I said here with a grain of salt. But if you're interested in learning more about these Ethlizards, feel free to send me a message on X. Leave a comment down below here. And if you happen to pick yourself up a lizard, get into the Underground Lizard Lounge in the Discord. That's where all the fun happens. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.